Tanya.
Thank
You for the 3 points. How did you see the game?
Yeah, thank you for the welcome. Game of two halves, I thought. First half, I thought we completely dominated the ball. I thought we worked the ball really well. Some really good patterns. The goal comes from stuff that we've been working on in training, so really pleased from that point of view. Second half, I thought we lost a bit of control with the ball. They pressed us a little bit higher. We couldn't quite find the spaces, but after that first 5 or 10 minutes, I thought we adjusted well and wrestled control back, started winning the first and seconds and bypassing the press a little bit more, and thought we were effective on the counter as well. So I thought it showed a little bit of everything and gave us a good foundation, and obviously really pleased with the clean sheet as well.
So how pleased were you with the way the girls have come back and from the break and listened to what you got to say and put your plans in place?
Yeah, look, I think a couple of things for me. One, the flexibility tactically tonight was like brilliant from my perspective. It's something I've been sort of really hammering with them that, I want us to be fluid in what we do, and if we need to adapt within the game, that we need to be able to do that. So it's not so rigid. I thought we did that brilliantly with and without the ball, which was great. I thought that the players that came off the bench, our finishers, were exceptional and really impacted the game. I've asked for that too, which was really, really pleasing. And I think the third thing for me is we've still got to work hard. This league is not going to give us anything, and I think we've seen the results over the weekend that it's tough. It's a tough league, so it's all good and well to play the patterns and what we've asked, but you also need to be able to grit it out. You also need to be able to match the opposition, and I've spoken a bit about that too over the last couple of weeks. So from my perspective, it had a little bit of everything, and it's a good foundation for us to build off.
And how you've looked at the league, no doubt, it's a tough league, isn't it? I mean, a game today where you got a good early start, you could have gone on, but they're a good side as well.
Yeah, they are. And look, I said going into the game that this could go either way, and it's a good test for us. And they threw everything at us. I think they tried everything they could, and I think that's what's so pleasing from my perspective, is that we were able to adapt to that, and we were able to stay calm and still execute what we needed to. And like I said, the clean sheet for me is the most important thing, because I think if you start with that as a foundation, you're always going to give yourself a chance. And it's something this side's probably struggled with previously. So to make sure we kept the clean sheet and we got the results, really, really important.
And of course, it's the first league win for the season at Gateshead, so that's a great start for you as well.
Yeah, I'll take that all day long. And now I've set myself up, haven't I? So look, I think we want to give the home fans, we want to give them something to get excited about, not just in terms of the result, but the performance, and hopefully they could see a little bit tonight around what we're trying to do. And we certainly heard them in the last sort of 10-15 minutes as well, which is really important for us. So this stadium, we want to try and make a fortress, and hopefully tonight's is the first part of that.
Thank you.
Adam?
Hi Tanya, I know you've been in and around the club a couple of weeks now, but what was it like getting that first game under your belt?
Yeah, I think it's always nerves, right? I think it's excitement and nerves. I think anyone that says I'm not nervous is lying. A bit of nerves, I think, obviously for the players too, right? Because we're asking them to do things a little bit differently. And I think it's just good to get it off, tick it off the list, but also to do it in the way we have is important, because it gives us a solid foundation to move forward. And we've got a busy couple of weeks coming up now, and 2 important games obviously in different sort of competitions, but it gives us a good solid foundation to build off.
Obviously you're still getting to know the players. What have you learned so far?
Look, they're a funny bunch, I'll give them that. Look, I think it's hard because you don't really get to know the players until you spend a lot of time with them. So it's really difficult for them, because they've got someone coming in that's asking them to do stuff and asking them to trust in what I'm asking them to do. And I haven't quite built that rapport with them yet. I know a few of the players, obviously from previously coaching them and being around, but I'm building that rapport with them still. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks we really get to see a lot of their personalities. But I will give them, they are a funny bunch, so I'll give them that straight off the bat.
And how important was it to get that first 3 points?
Look, I said going into it wouldn't be the be-all and end-all of where we want to be at the end of the season, but it was important for our confidence in what we're trying to build. And but more importantly was the performance. So we wanted to see what we'd been working on and that the players had absorbed that, and we did. So, you know, the 3 points is obviously, obviously great, but the performance to get the 3 points is also really, really pleasing.
And just finally for me, cup game coming up this weekend gives you a chance to maybe rotate the squad a little bit, to have a look at what's available, try some things different.
Possibly, I'm not giving anything away. Look, I think we, from our point of view, we'll see where the players are at. Obviously, when when they come back in after a day off tomorrow, we'll see where they're at and make some decisions from there. But every game for us is a must-win, so we need to make sure we get the balance right and but give players opportunities for sure.
Thank you.
Lee?
Hi Tanya, you've talked about international football, you don't have like a lot of time with players. You've had a couple of weeks now with the girls. How much are you looking forward to having that day to day?
Yeah, I love it. Like I get to see them every day. It's snippets, so it's not at the moment. It's obviously trying to get everything in and around it right, and I'm spending probably a little bit more time with that than I am necessarily with the players. But as soon as we're out on the grass, like that's where they all come to life. And it's nice to be back in that environment where you're seeing people every day and you get to see the players every day. You get to know them in terms of like their family situation and obviously their personalities. We've got some of those in our squad already, I've noticed. So I brought my little one into the training ground yesterday, and Em Murphy was, I'm not sure who was enjoying it more in terms of playing hide and seek. So it's nice. It's a nice feel. And they're a really, really good bunch.
Birthday girl, Jordan Nobbs scores our first goal for Newcastle. How much are you looking to the experienced players in this squad to help you move Newcastle United up that table?
That's unbelievable, by the way. That's her first goal. I didn't actually know that. Look, they're vital to what we do. If we want that tactical flexibility, I think the senior players or the more experienced players are really important in that because they've been there, they've seen it, they've done it. So there's no like panic when we're saying, oh, why don't you sort of swing around this way or find this pocket of space. And Jordan's the ultimate pro at that. She's dictating things on the pitch, and you can give information and she can relay information. So really pleased for her that she's got on the score sheet on her birthday with her head. Nonetheless. So massive tick for her.
Last one from me. January's approaching. Have you had any discussions with the board in terms of who you would like to possibly bring in?
Yeah, good question. Not yet. I think from my point of view, I wanted to see what the squad was and work with the squad for a little bit first. We'll certainly have those conversations, no doubt. But it was important to assess what we already had and maybe the areas that I feel that we could strengthen in and see if that aligns obviously with what they're looking at too. But we'll certainly have those conversations across the next sort of 2 weeks.
Cool, that's it.
Any more? Mark, yeah.
So Tanya, have you in your mind set yourself a target of where you think you want Newcastle to be come the end of the season?
Yes. I have a points. We're working towards a points tally, if you like. I'm not going to tell you what that is. But I think from our perspective internally, we know what we're going after. And I think it's important that you have that because otherwise, we've made no secret that we want promotion. Like there's no secret about that. But in order to do that, there's a process, within that. So we're certainly working towards a points tally internally. And tonight obviously gives us an extra 3 towards that.
And obviously you're new to this area, and have you had a chance to see the site, or has it just been at the
I haven't seen
training
anything. Every time I leave the house it's dark, every time I get home it's dark. I haven't had a chance to see anything yet. I'm hoping that this week I'll be able to get to some good coffee shops and I'll be able to go and have a look at the beaches, and it's too cold to swim, but I'll go and have a look at them and get a feel for things. So the girls tell me how beautiful a city it is, so it'll be nice to get out and have a look. But at the moment it's head down and excuse my language, bum up and just going hard at it. So fingers crossed I'll be able to come up for some air and see the beautiful city.
Thanks everyone. Oh, Joe.
Yep. Tanya, first of all, Joe from Newcastle Fans TV, I just want to say I've been a massive fan of your career so far, following you all the way from Bristol City, so it's absolutely phenomenal and an honour to have you here.
Thanks.
One thing I did want to ask is, given your career, calibre of teams, seeing the push and the presence of Newcastle United Women, what does that mean to you, given what you've seen in the women's game? What does it mean to you to see Newcastle making the push that they have and making the inroads that they have for women's football?
Yeah, look, I think if you follow my journey, you know, I've probably been through it a little bit, which is, you know, it's refreshing to be in an environment that values their women's team. And that was one of the biggest drivers for me coming here, was that alignment across the club. And, you know, it's not about words on a paper or words on a wall. It's about the actions, and everything I've felt since the moment I had that first discussion to the moment I walked in the door has been around, right, what do we need? How do we make this the best club, you know, in women's football? And like, that's just so refreshing for me, because it gives me the tools to be able to do what it is that I can do. And you know, I know the players appreciate it too. So, you know, from my perspective, I feel like I'm at home, and it's just a nice place to be given the journey that I've been on.
Love that. And then just one more from me is, following your career, I've noticed you've got a knack for nurturing a lot of young players, and we've got a lot of young talent. We've obviously already spoken about the leadership you've got in the squad. Is there any young talent that you've already picked out so far who you really like in the look of?
Yeah, look, I think Amelia's been training with us over the last 2 weeks. She's been doing a fantastic job. We've had some of the 21s come in as well, so got some eyes on them. So I think overall, like, the pathway is really, really bright, you know, and making sure that the coaches are along for that journey too, and implementing some of the stuff that we're asking at senior level is important. So we're in a great space, and the squad itself, apart from those like senior players, is quite young. So, you know, and it's about developing and nurturing that talent and seeing where we can get them to, and developing them as people as well as players. So obviously that's really exciting for me, because that's like my bread and butter. So yeah, watch this space. We'll see where we get to.
Love that. Thank you very much, Tanya.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Rising up.